Alright, folks, welcome back. So, at the end of our last episode, we were right here in Conakry. I hope I pronounced that right. Conakry, Africa. And this is Western Africa. And I was talking about how I couldn't figure out why there was no street view. But with very minimal research, it just means that the Google streetcars have not been there yet. The world is a gigantic place. And, of course, there's going to be places where the cars with the gigantic cameras on top of them have not been yet. Anywho, moving on to this episode, I kind of want to just do a spin the world kind of episode. Let's just choose somewhere random. Doesn't really matter where we land as long as it's not in the middle of an ocean. And we'll see where we go from there. So how about here? We got India, and it initially landed on Sri Lanka, which is just a small island just south of the most, well, I guess, southwestern tip of India. But I say we check it out. It seems really interesting, and I'm just kind of zooming in wherever I feel like it. But this place looks really cool. It's called Batticaloa. I'm sure I mispronounced that again, but it definitely looks like a populous center. I feel like most people have heard of Sri Lanka, and I would like to see if I get like a street view, possibly here on the beach, starting off with something really cool looking. And there is a spot for street view. That's great. So to our left, which is facing west, that seems to be an inlet from the ocean. That right there is really cool. This is kind of what I want everybody to see, is this right here. That is somebody's hut that they live in. And that could be completely wrong. That was me jumping to conclusions. That's somebody's hut, though. I mean, they could store livestock in there, grains, whatever it may be. But look at that. Would you just look at it? I was kidding. Man, this is a beautiful place. And it is sectioned off with a bunch of what I would like to consider pikes. Like back in the, Transylvania times where, Dracula put people's heads on pikes. But we'll leave that as is. Looks like a tower right here. Um, Man, it looks like those are extension cords. And right here and right here looks like where they connect. So it looks like there's actually power going to that hut, which leads me back to believe that, possibly it is inhabited. Sorry. A little barrier of rocks here. I'm not sure, but it looks like there's a metal mesh around it, like almost holding it in. Um, I mean, it's obviously on purpose, but it looks like they put like a little mesh over all the rocks to hold them in place. That's kind of cool. And of course, you got the view of the ocean. I'm not going to venture to guess which ocean this is. I know Pacific is wrong. Maybe it is a sea and not an ocean. Or maybe it is Pacific and I'm completely wrong. That's beautiful. Just absolutely gorgeous. And trees. What kind of car is that up there ahead of us? It seems to be getting away. So the person driving the Google vehicle is not going as fast as that. That's really cool too. Look at this view that we just found. It's hard to tell what these animals are over here. I am not sure. I'll probably do some research on that. But could you imagine that being your view from your front porch? And then this view being off your back porch? In situations like this, one does not need money. Money is irrelevant. You already have probably one of the most beautiful places on earth. And if you can just enjoy nature, this is all you would ever need. That is just so gorgeous. All around gorgeous. But getting back on track, I would like to see some of the vehicles that travel this road. I mean, should we assume that they're just normal everyday cars that we see here in like the United States and Europe, or Russia, or anywhere in the Western world? It's cool they still blurred out his license plate. That's really cool. Somebody took their time. Or just mostly motorcycles. Probably. That's what I would assume. Be very efficient, especially for this terrain. I'm trying to determine if that is an oven right there in the middle. Like if possibly there's an opening on the other side, and it could be used as an oven, because it almost looks like a smokestack right where my mouse is. And it is covered but ventilated. So that leads me to believe that that is an oven. There's probably no chance of anybody ever telling me definitively that I'm wrong for that. But so we'll just go with that's an oven. Man, look at that wave breaking though right there. Just how gorgeous that whole shoreline is. The sands are white and pristine and untouched. You know, seafaring vessels right here that people take out to provide for their families. Like, that is so. It's just so interesting to be in a place like this. I mean, who knows what these gigantic, pinball bumpers are, but I'm sure they're for some sort of structure. Anywho, we're getting close to the 8-minute mark. Probably just go ahead and call this an episode. As always, thank you for being here with me. I hope that you are as excited as I am about this little discovery we found. Alright, everybody have a good night.